So, this vaporwave thing is not new at all, but I recently came across it because I had a friend who was making some, and I was thinking to myself, man, there's got to be more that you can do with this than just sitting around in FL Studio doing stuff. And most of the tutorials on YouTube right now regarding this are just really bad, not clear at all, and it seems like these guys have no knowledge about how audio works. So for my demonstration, instead of going out and finding a song, I actually started out by making my own little thing with loops here. So here it is. It's pretty groovy, and I think it fits the bill. I just use a bunch of these and, do them around. But it's much easier to do this type of work if we export it out as its own little thing. Luckily enough, I already did. And I've also already made it vaporwavy, but I'm not going to show you that just yet. So what we have here is our song, and step one, as I'm sure you know if you watched any other tutorials, is that we start with the flex tool. So you're sitting over here, and it's sitting over here. So flex. It'll analyze for a little bit when you first do it. And you're going to choose speed effects. And I think at first, mine was somewhere over here, and you just dragged it back a little bit, and you got to feel around for it, see what you like. So let's see what this sounds like. A little too fast. Perfect, let's go with that. I mean, the idea here is just to make a chill, something to listen to while you're under the influence of something. And it's just kind of making you feel like you're floating in cosmic musical dust. So, what I started with here is an EQ. Pretty intense low pass here, and I'll show you what that does. Kind of gives it that radio feel, because a lot of these guys are going for that like 80s vintage feel. So it kind of cuts out some of those high-end frequencies, and it gives it that sort of vintage feel. And then, the big dog here is the Bit Crusher. Let me just show you what that does. You're almost done once you add that in. It's kind of a nice little 8-bit 80s feel, and I have it at a pretty, I'm not going too crazy with it. Once you get down here, you can get pretty ridiculous. I want it to be subtle, but I want it to be, what it is. It needs to be that vintage, distorted, 8-bit, VHS type feel. So again, I'll show you on and off. So it's pretty cool, but there's more. So check this thing out. It's called a spreader, and I hope you're using headphones right now, because it's a really big difference. And basically what it does is it chops up the frequencies, and it puts some on the left, some on the right, and it opens it wide up, because the type of feel that I like to go for in this, as I said, is like you're floating through this music. Like this music is kind of swirling around your head. So let me show you what this does. So you can get pretty nuts with it. I find that on these low-end frequencies, if you kind of spread those out, it gives it a nice open feel. So that's pretty cool. We'll leave that there for now. And this one's even cooler than the Bit Crusher, I think. Check this out. It's a vibrato. You can make some really cool effects with this. I'm a, semi-professional audio guy. I make a little bit of money mastering, and I just think this is a cool vibe to go for. And I think with the vibrato and the Bit Crusher, you're pretty much golden. I like the EQ, chopping off those high ends, giving it that radio feel, because it's almost like it's taking old style chill jazz music, throwing in the 80s and giving it this VHS 8-bit sound, and I think it's kind of cool. So let me show you some more of this vibrato thing here. Change it up a little bit. I think it sounds pretty good. Only the last thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spread this out a little more. Here we go. Too much. A little more. What's cool about it, you can kind of get in there and do your own thing and change it up a little bit. I don't know, I think it's a blast. It's pretty simple. While some guys do extra reverb, some guys do pitch shifters. Pitch shifters can easily get gimmicky. It's almost like some vaporwave that I find is a little too much. I kind of see what it's going for, and I think sometimes the pitch shifters can be a little too gimmicky. Some of this reverb, let me see this here. What does this do? Okay. Sure, I'll go with that. Why not? Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot with it. I just find that it's a pretty cool vibe to go for. I mean, we started with this, right? Hold on. Just fun, it's cool, but check this out. I mean, come on now, what's going on here? Come back. All right. So, you go from this. And you come over here and you got this. A little much, actually. Yeah, it's good to go back and forth and make sure you're not going overboard there, but yeah, I mean, that's basically it. I enjoy it. I think it's cool. Hopefully this works. I mean, I know that most of these guys are remixing songs, so you can bring in any kind of Hall & Oates weird song and just kind of mess around with it, but I think it's a cool way to remix a song or whatever. I might do a tutorial on putting together one of these. It's pretty simple, but that's pretty groovy. I mean, that was like 5 minutes of work. So anyways, hope this helped if you were looking to learn more about it. But yeah, that's it from me. Farewell.